Even though we're not, we are.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Saturday Solutions with HLC Bookkeeping.
And office services.
Yes. I'm Krista Rue.
Christina Rue.
And
we do this every Saturday just to kind of check in and let you know things we've been hearing where we live, work, and worship, which is the foundational principles of our business, right?
That's correct.
So basically we just do 15, 20 minutes every Saturday, 2 o'clock, regardless of where we are.
That's right.
We do the check-in. So we are checking in today from our conference room. And go ahead, Krista. Let's recap last week.
Oh, okay. So last week we talked about it's a good time of year to do reflections and to pay attention to life around you. And then because it was Valentine's week, we talked about why we love bookkeeping, because we do.
We do.
And then our household hints, we did about the many uses of vinegar around the house, like as cleaning solutions and such.
Yep.
And then our QuickBooks QuickTips, we talked about merchant processing.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
All right. So for today, we wanted to talk about this wonderful feature that's like on every phone, and it's called alarms. Or if you prefer, you can use the stopwatch feature. But those are good ways of, one,
to not miss appointments.
Right. Set an alarm. If you have to be in an appointment at 2, you set an alarm for 1:30 that, hey, I should have left wherever I'm going for that appointment.
Missed one just on Wednesday because I forgot to set my alarm.
Well, there you go. It's timely.
Yep. And if you have billable hours to do that, if you know that you're billing this client 3 hours, you would set your alarm for 3 hours. And when you're done, you're done.
That's it. And if there's still more to do, zip off an email. Hey, I still have 2 hours of work. Will you authorize that? Or should I wait till next week?
Exactly.
Right. So that way you're keeping everybody in the loop. And it's just an easy way for you to manage your time. And we've talked in the past about how when there are tasks, perhaps like filing, that I do not enjoy, that I set an alarm for 15 minutes and do all I can in that time. But then
you're out.
I don't feel overwhelmed.
Correct.
'Cause I don't
15
like
minutes
it.
a day is better than 2 hours of swearing.
That's true. It very much is.
Yes.
It is. It is. All right. And then, so then last week, what had come up was discernment versus judgment. So, because a lot of times these words are used interchangeably and they're not.
They shouldn't be.
Right. Because discernment is you're making an informed decision about something. Judgment is you've made the decision and there's no going back. Okay? Or it could be I've discerned for this period of my life this person's not a good influence. I'm not judging them that they might have a bad habit or whatever, but I've discerned they don't fit in my life right now.
Correct.
A judgment would be like, oh.
Yeah. There's a difference between, I guess, using a judgment to make somebody feel bad about themselves. But if you're just saying, hey, this isn't a good fit for my lifestyle, my whatever, that is not a judgment on that person's lifestyle. That's
right.
That's you knowing yourself.
You knowing yourself and what works in your life right now.
You've discerned this isn't a good idea.
Right. Like, don't feel guilty about that. Because there are people, quite honestly, that come in and out of my life, because we have such different ways of looking at things when I'm stressed, I don't really want them around because they make me more stressed. That's a discernment. I know how what they do affects me, and if I'm not in the right headspace, I don't want to deal with it.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not judging them. I'm not telling them to change.
And here's another thing, people. Who cares? Why do we get so upset whenever we think people are judging us? I don't care. You can judge me all you want. I don't care.
But you shouldn't.
But you shouldn't. Right. But I'm just like, some people get so like uber sensitive, like you're judging me. I'm not. And like if people do judge me, you know what I have to say? That's all right. What I do is working for me. Let's just go our separate ways.
Let's go.
Exactly. And let's not be so overly sensitive about everything.
And why can't we just talk and discuss? And if we disagree, we disagree.
We just talked about this. About how we used to be able to sit down, and if you had a dichotomy of
debating
opinions,
people who think differently than me. I love it.
Then you could actually have a conversation.
Yes.
Well, why do you feel that way? And again, it's not a judgment. It's trying to understand
your point of view.
Exactly.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's
so
all.
like, I know in Facebook it happens, and I know with the election season coming up, it's going to happen again, where people are going to block other people because they like this candidate and not that candidate. Who cares?
Yeah. What you do in that voting booth is up to you.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly.
That's why you're allowed to do it. It's private.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I might feel what's good for the economy is one thing, and somebody might feel it's another. And you go and you vote the way you feel you should be voting.
Right.
But if you ask my opinion, I'll tell you why I feel the way I feel.
All it does is it comes down to respect.
That's it.
I respect your opinion, and you should respect mine.
Exactly.
Because we all have different perspective in life. We all have a different background.
Different experiences.
That's right.
That made us who we are today. Exactly. So, like, again, the whole judgment, discernment, as we live our lives, we get better at it.
We do.
When I was young, stupid. I did so many stupid things. But again, I didn't have the experience or the knowledge to know better. And like, so as you get older, you're like, yeah, that doesn't work for me, but thanks for asking.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. So we just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because I know that's going to be coming up. You're right. In
these elections.
But, just respect.
That's it.
That's all.
That's it.
All right. So, hints. We thought we'd talk about, because it's sort of vendor season coming up, where there's a lot of vendor shows, where you might be presenting your information to a new group of people, and you have a little table. So we wanted to talk about, it's always good to have a little bit of munchy. Like a chocolate or a peppermint.
Gum. A lot of people do gum.
Yeah. Something that draws people to your table.
Yep. And there are places, though, that their business or government, whatever, doesn't allow them to have certain things on the table. So make sure you know those
understand the rules.
Exactly what that is, that you're conforming. Some trade shows want you to bring a giveaway. Right. So that you have something to give away and have people stop at your table so you can capture information. Right. So kind of find out what the norms are for where you're going.
Every show's a little different. They have a different culture. So you got to find out, can we be the Christina level of excitement or the Krista level of excitement? If you have a very reserved show, our humongous laugh might be very standoffish.
Exactly. Because we're loud people. In case you don't know, we're loud people.
Yes.
And like I
enjoy laughing.
Don't go to a family reunion unless you want to be like at the end go, oh my ears.
I know.
It's hereditary. You cannot control it. That's how we talk. And we're not judging when we're yelling. We're just yelling. That's what we do.
That's it. Again, know your cultures.
Exactly.
And then also, presentation. Invest in a nice table covering It could be just a regular tablecloth if it's your company colors, or you can invest in, we have a really nice one that's all black with our logo that's on the front, so it hangs down on the front.
Correct. Yeah.
Or if you're having little flyers you want to do, invest in those little nice, see-through, what do you call them? Picture frames that you can put that flyer information in, and it's easy to see. Whatever. I don't handle
they could
that
be
section.
Banner
of my
holders.
office.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what they're called.
Yes.
Because she's good at it. I let her be good at what she's good at.
She lets me.
I know.
She lets me.
That's a little bit into my psyche.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's Chris's world. We just
But you're so good at it.
Yes.
You're so good at it. And like sometimes also at vendor shows, I'm not good at the schmooze. I'm just not.
The schmooze.
I'm a people watcher. I like to talk.
And that's hereditary because Grandma, Grandma Irwin was a people watcher.
That's true. That's true. But Christina goes out and interacts.
I do interact.
So like usually when we go to a vendor show, I man the table and she's out there schmoozing, meeting people, making connections. So know your strengths
and work
with it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. And it's also good to have two people. Now, like when I can't go to stuff, we actually have a client who's offered to go with Christina because she enjoys that type of thing, and she would help her if I'm unavailable. That's wonderful.
Yep.
Take a friend.
Yep. And nothing's better than having somebody talk praises about you.
Yeah, that's right. And actually, that's even better.
You're like bringing a referral partner with you.
That's true.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, my one of my employees and myself, because we don't enjoy this type of thing.
They hide.
We don't hide. We stay in our lane.
Okay.
Don't be judgy.
I'm not being judgy.
So, we reward ourselves after the event by having a glass of wine.
Yes. They got through it.
We got through it. We did it. Woo!
Yeah.
So, but like whatever incentive you need.
Yeah.
Because I have wine like 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And it's usually after these things because I'm so tense.
Yes. Sure. I personally, vodka tonic at the beginning, you're fine.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. But those are things, again, and think about what you want to say to those people approaching your table. Because your table talks without saying a word.
Correct.
So make sure it's reflecting your values and what you want to say.
And I was going to say, I'm a clutter bug.
Yeah, keep it nice and lean.
I do it.
Yeah.
And then I have to edit it because I always.
And then I usually edit some more.
Yes. And like it's okay to be edited, people.
It is. And
Yeah.
again, different strengths. Embrace those
Yep.
people. They have talents you don't.
And I was going to say, if I didn't have a second with me that day, I've actually asked either friends of mine or other vendors. I'd be like, "What do you think when you approach this table?"
Yeah, that's a great way to start a conversation with a new vendor you don't know. Ask them for help.
Exactly.
People want to help.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right. I just thought we hadn't talked about that.
Yeah, that's true. We hadn't.
Yeah.
It's helpful because it's vendor season. You're right.
It is. It is. So, you want to talk about the quick tips?
Oh,
for quick.
Okay. So, QuickBooks does integrate with a lot of third-party softwares, okay? So, whether it's a point-of-sale system or a membership organization system or something else. The thing you have to remember is that for them to talk to each other, they have to speak the same language. So, basically, you're going to want similar accounts. And by similar, I mean exactly the same. So that if you call it, what would be something?
Well, like a customer.
Yeah.
If he's John Smith here, he can't
be Jay Smith over here.
No, it has to match.
So they can
or
find
they
each
can't
other.
find each other, and they'll put in a new one, and now you have duplicate accounts.
Correct. And it's called mapping. So anytime you have that third-party integration, you want to find out from whomever you're mapping with what their requirements are.
Specifications.
Will they work with online or desktop or both? Depending on what you have. What are tips and tricks? Sometimes they'll have a whole integration little handbook, which will be very helpful to you.
Wonderful. Yep.
Exactly. And like I'm helping somebody with one now that they were like, don't put your customers in. Let it build from us pulling it over, because there's so many.
And that saves tons of time.
It will save you tons of time.
Even if you're doing an IFF file or whatever to a new system, to not have to do even that, that's great.
It is. Yeah. So that's definitely something you want to think about and talk about. So I just want to remind you, like some people get really intimidated by it, and it can be a daunting task. And you also want to keep in mind too, do you have to get your IT people involved?
That's right.
Because if you're in a server environment, your IT people have to be involved. Because you're not just going computer to computer or software to software. You're now got a server in the mix. So
that other people are going to get into.
Exactly. So you want to make sure that everybody's speaking the same language.
And also, one of the tips I've learned over the years is computer integrations. Sometimes it's beautiful, sometimes it's not. I plan for the not. So if I think a good installation time would be like 4 hours, I set out my whole day.
Yeah.
So that way, if something bad happens, I have time to deal with it. I'm not stressed. I have an appointment coming in.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing.
And I always tell people, please do not schedule, I like just reserve the whole day for that process. Because yes, things could go wrong, but there's also little things that you're like, okay, well, now I want to learn about the integration. I want to do some test transactions. I want to make sure everything I think is going to happen is actually happening. So like it's more than just the connection. It's now making sure it works. So definitely don't rush yourself. Give yourself double the time you think it's going to take. And you want to ask the professionals who do it all the time, what's your average installation time, so they can tell you.
Right. And it's, you know how like sometimes when you're doing government forms and they're like, this will take 12 minutes to complete.
It never
and
does.
an hour and a half later.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm like, who
does it?
Who did they measure?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because first of all, it's so small, you got to get your magnifying glasses out. And then after that, you're like, what do they mean by that?
Or if it's online, it takes forever to build because there's so much information.
Yeah.
Like it's...
And you want to print sometimes as you go.
That's right.
Because sometimes at the end, you don't have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you said.
Yeah. All I do is print, save as PDF, page 1. Print, save as PDF, page 2.
Exactly.
Done.
Yep. And then at the end, if you have the opportunity to get the whole document together,
Great.
fabulous.
Great.
But don't count on it.
But go through the whole process.
And why is it inconsistent?
Yes. Yeah, be consistent. Whoever's programming out there, you got to start thinking
about the people on the other end.
That's right. That we will always want documentation of whatever it is we did. So at the end, I should be able to get everything I did and save it as a PDF.
Correct.
So that's a little help there for all your
That's a helpful hint.
Yeah.
Helpful hint.
Because, like, it drives me crazy. And it's inconsiderate. Yeah. You're asking us or requiring us to do it, and then you make it difficult. Ridiculous.
You don't give us the proper tools.
That's right.
To negotiate.
That's right. I'm going to calm down now.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So
is that everything?
That's everything
covered
on our list.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So our contact information, 724-561-7458.
7460.
7460 and HLC Bookkeeping and Office Services.
HLCbookkeeping.com.
And email is office@yourhlc.
Yeah. .com.
Oh, yeah. I'm not techie.
And it's Saturday after a very busy week.
Very long week.
Yes. So I'm thinking we have a sibling Saturday. We're getting together with our brother and sister. So it should be fun.
Yep. Yep. Looking forward to it.
If Krista can stay awake.
I will stay awake. I need to know what's going on in their lives.
Exactly. Catch up time.
That's right. And make time for that. Because, like, family's so, so important. You got to stay close.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us on this Saturday or whatever day you're catching us. And remember, 2 o'clock on Saturday. Oh, and we had 2 people take baskets for their organization, so I only have 2 more left. So if you're a charity that would like one of our baskets for your event, please let me know, because we're almost sold out for the year.
That's it.
Sold out. We give them away.
Yeah.
But, for the year. Exactly. So there you go. All right. I don't have anything else then.
I don't think I do either. So
Okay.
we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
2 o'clock